live in Western Oregon. This is NBC 16 News at 5:30.
First at 5:30, wildfires devastating Southern California, and Oregon is sending help. Good evening and thanks for joining us for NBC 16 News at 5:30. I'm Alan Matthews.
And I'm Gold Meadows. In California, 5 fires are burning out of control in and around Los Angeles County. Authorities say at least 5 people have died. Tens of thousands of acres are scorched and more than 1,000 structures now destroyed, as many residents have been told to find safety. NBC's Jennifer Borklin has the latest from Pacific Palisades.
In Southern California, the flames seem to be everywhere.
I've never seen it come down this low before.
Fires that break the rules, burning downhill toward water, destroying anything that gets in the way. The Palisades fire among the worst.
And the fire is growing. We have no percentage of containment.
The flames feeding on dry conditions, fueled by intense winds. Winds so powerful, aircraft, among the best firefighting tools, aren't always able to get off the ground.
Normally we have some aircraft that can fly at night. Last night it was just impossible with those 80, 90 mile an hour winds. Right now it has calmed down a little bit, so I expect to see some of our aircraft back up in the sky this morning.
Thousands of buildings already have been destroyed. More are in danger, and people throughout Southern California have been told to leave their homes. Some, however, chose to stay and fight with whatever they could find.
This is home. What are we going to do? Where are we going to go?
Authorities insist residents need to think about where they'll go when the time comes. And that time may still come for thousands more in the fire's paths as this wind keeps Southern California in its grip. I'm Jennifer Bjorklund, NBC News, Pacific Palisades.
Oregon is sending fire crews to aid in fighting the ongoing fires near Los Angeles. Some of those Oregon crews gathered in Western Oregon before leaving the state. Rigo Aguilera has more on their preparation as they set out to help battle the blaze.
4 wildfires are raging in Southern California. Now firefighters throughout Oregon are stepping up to help minimize the destruction.
The state of California has requested help from Oregon, which is fairly typical. We help each other all the time. We have a good relationship with California.
Coburg Fire Chief Chad Minter's strike team is one of the many heading to California after the Oregon State Fire Marshal mobilized crews.
We're sending about 60 fire engines, 240 firefighters, 12 strike teams down to California today. The units in this strike team are from Coburg, Eugene, Mohawk, Lane Fire Authority, and Junk City.
Officials say Oregon firefighters will likely be doing structural protection on the Palisades fire to help reduce damage.
When the fire is around structures, we can help with the structures out, protect the structures before the fire gets there, or help mop up fires or put out fires when they're established in homes or whatever it may be. Whatever assignment they give us, we'll be able to complete.
12 different counties are sending crews, including Douglas and Linn County. The Oregon State Fire Marshal says the cost for sending these crews will be reimbursed by California. Reporting in Douglas County, I'm Rigo Aguilera.
And since that report was filed, a 5th wildfire has been announced. And just minutes ago, the Oregon State Fire Marshal announcing another 3 structural strike teams, along with the 12 teams already announced. Those teams are from Benton, Columbia, Douglas, and Polk counties. That raises the number of personnel to 300 with 75 engines.
Now, one of the biggest challenges firefighters are facing while fighting those fires is the weather. NBC 16 Chief Meteorologist John Mayer has a rundown of what they're facing now and for the rest of the week.
As we continue to track out those major fires that are developing around the Los Angeles area, one of the big features here that we're focused on are winds, specifically those Santa Ana winds coming off of those higher elevations, very similar to what we get during wildfire season. Anytime we get those easterly winds off the Cascades, it's hot, it's dry, and that can be very dangerous, combined with some solid gusts to spread the embers. And there's a good chance that these winds still staying out of the northeast here, at least through this afternoon and evening, though those wind speeds gradually quieting down. That's some good news. Actually looking at a nice chance to calm down tonight into tomorrow morning, hopefully giving those firefighters a chance to make some inroads on those continuing fires throughout the region. Unfortunately, before the day is through on Thursday, more gusts expected to pick back up, and we're going to see those those double-digit wind speeds. Certainly not as strong as what we've gotten used to, but it is still going to remain at least somewhat gusty all the way through the end of the week. And we're still looking at those winds coming off of those higher elevations, bringing that hot and dry air. And speaking of dry, humidity values have been way down there, single digits or into the teens, and that's not going anywhere either throughout the rest of the day today. Still some exceptionally dry air across the board. The reason these are the two big focal points for us, the winds, that helps to spread any of those stray embers. The dry air, that just makes all of that fuel that much more ignitable. That's why those fires can spread so easily. The good news here, as we start to transition through the end of the week, we begin to see a little bit of a rebound. Humidity values trying to bounce back up as we begin to get rid of some of that offshore flow, but we still got a ways to go. This is absolutely still a developing scenario with a lot of smoke out of these fires as well. This is a huge smoke plume coming down off of Los Angeles, and we're expecting to see some pretty thick smoke through the end of the week there in town as well. Just one more feature that those firefighters are really going to be contending with. For the time being, we still have that wide-ranging fire weather warning that's in place all the way until this evening, stretching throughout the entirety of Southern California. For now, there is still a long ways left to go on this. Still several fires that we're going to be tracking closely, bringing you the latest updates, especially as those Oregon firefighters start to make their way down, trying to contend with those spreading flames out there. And we'll continue to bring you the very latest updates as they come in.
While people and businesses in Oregon are adapting to climate change, and that's important considering Oregon is getting warmer and drier. The latest Oregon climate assessment out of Oregon State University shows an average temperature increase statewide of more than 2 degrees over the last 100 years and as much as 5 degrees in the next 50 years. The report also shows a below average amount of precipitation in 18 of the past 24 years. It also points out the efforts being made by Oregon businesses to manage environmental impact. Wildfire smoke alone could cost Oregon $1 billion or more per year in lost production due to office and factory closures in the state.